Okay. So I went to this wilderness leadership camp for a few years. If you're from Chicago and you know the Goldsteins, it's their camp. If you know Rav Tani Prera, who lives here in Israel, he's the director. We did crazy stuff. We went on crazy hikes. We built shelters and slept in them. We only got food when we earned them. We woke up at 4:30 a.m. every morning. They really pushed us. And our biggest challenge of the year, in our second year, was the 10-day hike. 10 days, 100 miles through the Catskills, over mountains, everything on our back, 50 pounds on our back, and 23 kilograms if you don't speak American. When you approach that time of that hike, you get a bit worried. The day before, you start packing your 5 liters of water, your emergency supplies, your snacks in case you get hungry, and you start asking yourself, can I really do it? Can I walk 100 miles with 50 pounds on my back? Can I go up and down 2,000 feet multiple times a day? Can I sleep on rocks every night? Can I keep going through those horrific meals every single day? And can I face the snakes and bears when they're hungry for a snack? Can I do it? Atem Nitzavim hayom kulchem. You stand here today. And when you read the first few psukim, I read them and I was a bit confused, like very quickly. Atem Nitzavim hayom kulchem lifnei Hashem Elokechem Roshechem Shivtechem Ziknechem V'Shodrechem Kol Ish Yisrael. You stand here, all of you, the heads of your tribes, your elders, and your officers, all of the men of Israel. All of you groups, all of you. Then we have some more groups in the next pasuk. I found it a bit redundant. Why not just say all of you and stick with it? Yeah, it adds a bit more drama, but it seems unnecessary. So when I first read this, the first thought that came to mind was the tragedy that we can call diffusion of responsibility. In an emergency medical situation, let's say you get hurt and there's a group of people. You don't say, can someone call 911? Because the psychology of the human being is, oh, someone else will do it, I don't have to. You're supposed to say, you, don't actually. Call 911. That's what you're supposed to do because of diffusion of responsibility. You might experience it in your apartments. Can someone take out the garbage? Not me. Someone else will. Can someone do this? No. But when someone says, can you do this? You're like, okay, that's my responsibility now. So that was my thought when I read through these psukim. Kulchem, all of you. No, Jews, you're not going to say, oh, someone else will do it. Everyone here has a responsibility. All of you are standing here today. You. And it's on you. Don't say it's on someone else. Something else I found quite interesting. It was what the Or Chaim said. We all have different capabilities. We can't do everything, but we can do a lot. No one expects you to do more than you can, but no one's going to accept less. And that was what God was saying. You all have your jobs and positions among the people. Yes, a common laborer cannot accomplish the same as a leader of the nation, but no one's asking him to. We know you have your capabilities. Live up to it. Do what you can. Show us what you've got. And that's all I'm asking. Do what you can, that'll be great. But I'm not accepting anything less. Those are the first few psukim. If we continue on, we hear about the idols and how we shouldn't do them. They're not good. Stay away from Avodah Zarah. And then we get to the eventual redemption. Then we have a few very, again, powerful psukim. And at this point, Israel might be asking themselves this question. Can we do it? And Moshe makes it very clear. Yes, you can. Lo ba'ever hayamhi. Lo b'shamayimhi. It's not in the heavens. It's not across the sea. It's here. It's now. God is not distant. God is here. God is now. Yes, you can do it. And the Parsha ends. The Parsha ends with a recap of the blessing and the curse. Good and life versus death and evil. And to say it simply, as Moshe ends his leadership As he says to the Jewish people to continue on, he says, choose life. Can I make it through that hike? Of course, I did. I can, and I did. It wasn't easy. It was really hard. But at the end, you felt the reward. You felt the reward. You put in the effort, you feel the reward. I recently got 2 powerful messages. One from my Israel guidance counselor, along with the rest of the TABC guys here, and one from my brother, an alumnus of LAVE 5 years out, and I want to share a little piece of both. So the first from my Israel guidance counselor. You feel inspired. You love learning all day. You're ready to take on a greater commitment to Judaism, or more likely, you are tired. You are wondering how you're going to do this for a whole year. You miss Sundays. You miss your bed, your home-cooked meal. You love the fact that you don't have to take tests on what you are learning. On the other hand, tests gave you a structure, but now you finish a day or a week and want to know if you have been productive. Not the happiest of quotes, but a realistic one. Can we do it? Now, if anyone wants the rest of this letter with the advice, I'm happy to share. And I'm going to get into why I just share this with you in a minute, but now, the letter from my brother. Some realistic circumstances along with advice. The beginning will be weird. You're not going to know a lot of people around you. Israeli culture could be off-putting. These hours of learning could feel like years of struggling through foreign text, confusing prophecy, or outdated law. Take a breath. Things will calm down. As the months go by, you'll realize they went by way too quickly. Your questions are not obstacles, but nudges to the truth you seek. If anyone wants a very powerful letter, gets to me every time I read it. If anyone wants to see it through his advice, I'm happy to share. Find me later. We are getting into our full schedule. As Rav Boaz said yesterday, we are getting into our full day schedule. This time of year, 7:30, but usually 8 to 9:45, if not later. And we're starting to schedule our own breaks because the days are long. It's our turn to ask the question, can I do it? Can we do it? The camp that I mentioned before, my survival camp, I didn't share the name on purpose, but I'm going to share it now. It's called Yagilu. A word we're going to be saying many times in the coming days, from the pasuk Uvchein tzadikim yiru v'yismechu yisharim yalozu v'chasidim b'rinan Yagilu, and the Yamim Noraim davening in the Shemona Esrei. I'm not going to define the entire phrase, but Yagilu. It's the most powerful kind of happiness, of joy. It's the joy you get when you accomplish something great, when you put in the effort, and then you reap the rewards. We're here for a year. Can we do it? So in Nitzavim, it says very quickly. Nitzavim, Rashi mentions when Moshe says, Asher atem einenu po, the people who are not here. Rashi says, Dorot atidim, the future generation. That's us. We're included. We have responsibility. And we have our capabilities. No one's asking more from us than what we're capable. But don't settle for less. It won't always be easy. It'll be challenging, but it can also be fun. One more piece from my brother's letter. Your experience isn't supposed to be this or that, or even what Rebbeim suggests. Your experience is yours. You must seize it and make it your own, rather than fall into a stereotype or a cardboard cutout. Lo b'shamayim hi, lo be'ever hayam hi. It's not distance. We don't need to climb mountains, reach for the heavens. We don't need to cross a sea. We did that 2.5 weeks ago. We're done with that. It's here, it's now. And we're in a room of 100 people about. Maybe a little less right now. But we're in a room with a lot of people, each one with a unique capability to push you on the next step of your journey. God is here and God is now. In about 255 days from now, let us look back on these days. Let us look back and think, wow, Yagilu, I put in the efforts. And I got the reward. I am standing here today. Nitzavim hayom. We are all here today. Can we do it? Of course we can. So let's make it count.